What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Yala Poppy from simphunter.com. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 lessons in management that I learned from running an OnlyFans agency. Yes, I know. You know what? I know a lot. I'm just saying, I do know a lot. It's crazy. People don't think I know anything. They don't. Because I admit when I don't know something, right? But I really do know a lot. I know it may shock you. I feel like my dad used to say shit like that, or my uncle also. My uncle's a doctor, and he would say, I remember he said one time to my dad when I was a little kid, he's like, I'm a doctor, and every day, all day, I make life and death decisions for people, and people really, put a lot of weight into what I decide. I hold the lives of people in my hand every day. And he's like, and then I come home and everybody treats me like an idiot. So anyway, I don't know why I thought of that. But that said, I'm now going to tell you 5 lessons that I learned about management that you should perhaps listen to if you value my over a year and a half of experience, which is ancient in this business, but maybe you know best. I don't know. You just started. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Let's talk about it. Number 1, you have to tell people exactly what you want. You have to tell people exactly what you want. You have to tell your VAs what you want. You have to tell your models what you want. You have to tell your partners what you want. You have to tell anybody that you pay for a service exactly what you want. I recently hired a contractor to do some work, and they're very skilled. I know they're extremely skilled. They are so skilled in what they do that they're probably easily top 1% in the world, probably top 0.1%, I would even argue. And when I hired them to do a specific job, and they were very good at the job. However, here's the thing. The agency that I run now, thanks to my business partner, not thanks to me, thanks to my business partner, is extremely well organized. Like, it is one of the most well organized agencies in the whole world. Like, there's a fucking CRM, there's a Notion for everything, there's fucking SOPs, there's tons of shit, tons, training videos, everything. And the contractor that we began working with, they were very good at the thing we hired them to do, but they weren't organized, right? They didn't provide us with reports. They didn't provide us with updates on the thing that we needed. They didn't do all the organizational stuff. Now, we assumed, because we paid them a certain amount of money that was reasonable, paid them, handsomely. We assumed that they would do those things, right? But that was wrong. They didn't do those things. And it was wrong for us to assume it. And when we began our engagement and we didn't receive those things, we were thinking, well, we paid them this and they haven't even done this and they haven't even done that. And it's like, at no point did we explicitly state that we expect this from you and this in a fucking line item, like an itemized receipt of you need to do this and you need to do it 1 time per day and we need to do it in a fucking spreadsheet and it needs to be done with these categories. And you would think, again, like I said, that, okay, you paid them a certain amount. They should provide that anyway, because that's what you should get for that amount of money. But you have to tell people exactly what you want. If we had told them that we wanted that and they didn't do it, okay, that's another story. But we didn't tell them. And so people can't read your mind. They don't necessarily know exactly what you want, right? It's one thing to say, for example, we're going to get you, I don't want to say exactly what it is. But anyway, the point is that you need to tell people exactly what you want. If you do not tell them exactly what you want, then they are less likely to give it to you. And by telling them exactly what you want, even if they don't hit it exactly, they'll at least get closer to the mark, right? You tell them you want the report filled out this way. If they do a report and it's 75% correct, well, that's better than them not doing it at all because you never told them to do it because they didn't know they needed to do it. You understand? So like tell them exactly. It goes for VAs, it goes for models, and it goes for fucking anybody that is involved. It even goes for your partner, to be honest with you. If you have a business partner, like you need to be specific. Okay, I need you to do this exactly. Like nobody is inside your head and knows exactly what you think and what you want. And you may say, most people are also really fucking terrible with language. You may say you want one thing, but the other person understands it differently. So try to be as exact as possible when you tell somebody what you want. Lesson number 2 the second thing that I learned about OnlyFans management. Wait, no, what is it? The second lesson I learned about management from running an OnlyFans agency was that you have to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries. Now, what does this mean? Well, let's talk about setting boundaries. What does that mean? In an interpersonal relationship, you're talking to somebody, you're friends with them, whatever. They will do something intentionally or unintentionally that you don't like, that violates some rule that you have, or that crosses the line, or that is inappropriate. And they may not even be aware that it's bad, that they shouldn't have done it. They don't know. So you have to set a boundary with them, and you have to say, in social dynamics, we say you have to call out the violation. You have to bring their awareness to the violation. If after bringing their awareness to the violation, they still refuse to change, or they don't change, well, then they obviously don't care about you, and they don't care what you say, and they don't give a fuck, and they're just going to do whatever they want. And then you can make the choice to fucking give them the boot. But by setting a boundary, number one, it does wonders for your confidence. Like this is literally the difference between people that have confidence and people that don't have confidence. If you don't have confidence and you want to build your confidence quickly, then just start setting boundaries with people. It's like everybody's in a situation where everybody's experienced this. Okay. I don't care how fucking cool or tough you think you are. Like everybody's experienced being in a situation and somebody does something and you're like, that was not right. Like that person should not have done that. And you feel the urge to say something, and it's coming out of you, right? And you maybe fight it back because you're like, well, I don't want a confrontation. This guy, seems aggressive, or this girl, whatever, like she's probably going to fucking make my life miserable or do something. And I'm not saying every single time you need to call out the violation, but like if you do more often than you don't, because sometimes it's not good to pick a fight, even if the person is inappropriate. Maybe they're just a fucking retard, and you can just like let them be a retard over there and go over there, and then you're good. You're done with it. But if it's somebody that you have to have contact with on a regular basis, like an employee or a model or your business partner or something, then you have to set a boundary. You absolutely have to set a boundary. And the way you do it, fun fact, is you just say, hey, you did this. I don't think that was like, I didn't like it, or that wasn't nice or something, because it made me think this, or it made me feel that. And then you float that out there. You see how they respond. 9 times out of 10, if they're respectful and they value you as a person, they will, not do it anymore. Most of the time. I'll give you an easy example, right? This is like a clear indication that some of my chatters, like just literally do not give a fuck about working for our company. One of the things that we insist on chatters doing is sending a personalized DM, meaning you use the username or a variation of the username, to every single new fan. You send, the guy's name is Mike. Hey, Mr. Mikey Mike, what's up? How are you? My brother's name is Mike. Fucking some dumb shit, whatever. They must do that. Now, do they all do it? No, they don't, because they don't fucking care. But the ones that do care, they do it. And those also happen to sell the most, those are also the ones we don't fire because of that. But the ones that don't do it, they don't do it because they do not care. They do not value the relationship. And then at that point, time to fucking get rid of them or replace them. Number 3, third lesson in management that I learned from running an OnlyFans agency is that the time you spend organizing stuff will pay off 10 times. Pay off 10 times the amount, pay off times 10. What does this mean? Many times, what running a business, any business, is made up of a series of actions that are frequently repeated, right? Every time you're going to recruit a model, okay, you recruit this girl, you recruit that girl, like, the process is always the same. You're going to onboard this girl, you're going to onboard that girl. Traffic is dynamic, it changes, right? But like whatever, method of during the 3-month period that doesn't get patched of whatever you're doing, that's going to stay consistent. And by organizing, what I mean is that if every time you onboard a new model, you're fucking sending manual messages in Telegram and telling her to do everything, on a one-on-one basis, that's not organized, right? That's going to be chaotic. It's going to take your time. It's going to take your mental energy, and it's going to reduce your efficiency in other areas. Whereas if you create a Notion document and record some videos and you send them a link once, that's way less work than like explaining everything in all the Telegram chats over and over, right? You send them one link. You're like, here's your training. Go fucking do that. You have 2 days, And the time that you spend organizing stuff like that will be immensely valuable to you. And I guess really organizing is probably the wrong word. Really, any work that you do that can be leveraged later on is going to be incredibly valuable. Like, what's a random example? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that thing that I was thinking of talking about. Well, I guess I'll say it now because I already fucking brought it up. I have, been working with, this is super random also, has nothing to do with OFM. I've had a ClickFunnels membership for years at this point, and I have created so many funnels that I never used, but the using those funnels, creating those funnels allowed me to get good at copywriting. It allowed me to learn how to do email marketing. It allowed me to learn how to use email marketing software. And all of those things I ended up applying later on. Sometimes I used the exact same copy in other things in OFM. And because I had already done the work, which you could consider organizing, because like to create a funnel, you have to put things in certain places, which I guess is organizing technically. I was able to use pretty much the exact funnel, maybe with some slight changes, apply it to OFM. And because I had already done the work, I didn't have to redo it. And I guess that's a bad example because that's something that I only had to do once and I only copied it once. But let's say like I'm making SOPs to train recruiters, right? Instead of me having to train every single recruiter every single time we hire them, I can just like write a PDF and make 10 videos showing every step of the process. And then that's it. It's done. I don't have to do it anymore. So organize and prepare. The fourth lesson in management that I learned from running an OnlyFans agency is that you can't always be a dick, but you have to be a dick sometimes. Now, I had a call with my team today, and this call was about, it was me, my business partner, and like our two main managers that we work with. One's a chatter manager, and one is a like an admin manager kind of thing. She manages the VAs. And the call, one of the things we talked about on the call was how to talk to somebody that we hired to do something on a contract basis. And this person has not been performing as well as we had hoped. And we were talking about how we were going to have a call with them, how we were going to communicate with them. Now, previously on X-Men, I don't know why I thought of that. Previously on Breaking Bad, my business partner got frustrated and didn't lose his temper. He's a very chill guy, but like kind of, it almost devolved into like a bad conversation. Kind of. It was like it was knocking on that door, but it didn't devolve into that. It could have. And I was the one who was like calming it down, right? Now that's the opposite of how things usually go in the agency. Usually it's the other way around. Usually I am the one who is upset about some worker or some person doing something that isn't up to my standard. And I make it very clear that they're fucking stupid and that if they want to keep their job, they need to never do that again. And it's gotten so bad. This happened a lot with the chatters where I was like, dude, this is not acceptable. Well, anyway, you know the fucking story, but I fucking came down heavy on the chatters many times. So anyway, I told in our call, I was like, listen, when we talk to this person tomorrow, you know, let's keep it constructive and just let me do most of the talking. And, you know, I'll be the good cop. That's what I said. And they were all like, oh my God, really? No way. That's, you know, that never happens, blah, blah, blah. I'm really a nice person, I swear. Just do your fucking job. Anyway, the point is that you can't always be super harsh on the people that work with you. You can't do it, right? You can't, because people will eventually quit, right? You can't, I don't know, fucking hit kids all the time, but you might need to hit them sometimes. You know, you might need to fucking hit them sometimes. You can't hit them all the time, but every once in a while they might need a fucking smack, you know? And that's, it's the same with the people that you manage, right? With creators, it's, you know, you want to have obviously a lighter touch. You don't want to like be mean to them necessarily because they're a little bit more sensitive. You're also not paying them by the hour. So you need to kind of coax them a little bit more unless you are paying them salary, and that's different. I guess it's mainly with VAs, but especially with Filipino VAs, they have kind of been conditioned to the point where they'll do as little as possible and see if they can get away with it, you know? And if you don't call them out on their bullshit, and you're like, bro, it's not how you're supposed to do it. You do not do it like that. And like, I don't know, maybe it sounds like being a dick, but I'm just very direct. And I'm like, bro, I just talk to them like I talk to a normal person. Like, this is bad. What you did here was bad. It was low quality. It was shit. And that's not how you're supposed to do it. I told you not to do it like that. You're supposed to do it this other way. And if I see you making this mistake again, because I've already told you 3 times, I'm going to fucking fire you. Is that mean? Is that bad? Is that being a dick? I don't think it is, but a lot of people do, apparently. Apparently that's not how you're supposed to talk to people who work for you. I don't know. Let's move on from that one. It's all over the place. Lesson, what is this? Number 5. The fifth lesson, hiring people with experience will not solve your problems. So and this is a trap that many people fall into. I fell into it many times. I still periodically fall into it. But when you have a business and there's some part of your business that you either don't know how to do, or like you know how to do it, but you don't want to take the time to train new people and manage them, oftentimes what you will do is you will look for somebody with experience, and you'll think to yourself, okay, I don't know how to, let's say you don't know how to do something. Reddit, for example. Let's say you don't know how to do Reddit. You'll make a job ad and you'll be like, okay, we need somebody to do Reddit and you need to have experience. Okay. And then if they have experience, you can it's a little bit easier to guide them, right? Because you can kind of hear about their experience and hear about what they did and manage them that way. But that does not mean, just because you hired somebody that's done Reddit before, doesn't mean that now all of a sudden Reddit is like a solved problem for you. You're still going to need to manage these people. And most importantly, you're still going to need to teach them exactly what to do. You can't just hire somebody for Reddit and be like, okay, you're hired. Like, here's some accounts, go post, you know? You have to provide training videos. You have to show them exactly how you do it. And not even necessarily because they don't know and you're teaching them, but because it's almost like a filtering process to where they need to invest their time and effort into consuming the education that you were providing for them, because that will make them more committed to the job. And if you don't have that, and because you just think you don't need it, then they're going to be less committed and they're not going to work as hard and they're not going to take the job as seriously. The best employees that I've ever had, not that have all been good, but the best ones that I've ever had have all been people that had no experience that I trained from scratch. Hands down, across the board, it's not even close. If you can get, and this is, maybe this should be my next lesson, always hire people with no experience and train them from scratch. That's a fucking great lesson right there. Because the people that have experience, they have the like bad habits, you know, or they think they know everything and they don't fucking listen to what you say. I think maybe that was the problem with the chatters, or they're just lazy. I don't know. Like the new people, they're new. They're excited about the position. Those are the best. They're new. They're excited about the position. They really want to do it. They want to prove themselves. They want to do a good job. And those are just the best people. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Those are my lessons I learned in management. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. See you in the next one.